What's up, everybody? Skylar Dean here, men's lifestyle fat loss coach, and today we are going over my more recent Trader Joe's hauls. And the reason I'm doing this, so we had a previous video where I just compared some items from Trader Joe's in terms of something to have pretty often, not so often, and to avoid. And I also recently did a Costco video talking about my haul, and I got a lot of good feedback on that one, so I wanted to open it up to Trader Joe's. So we have a wide variety of items. I'm gonna try to speed through it pretty effectively today. I'm gonna start with the frozen stuff so I can get it back in my freezer, then the refrigerated stuff so I can get it back in my fridge, and then we'll do the stuff that can be stored in the cupboard. So before we dive into it, make sure that if you are interested in simplifying your health, you subscribe to the channel, you like this video, and you tap the bell icon to be notified when we release new videos. So the frozen items that we have are gonna be pretty simple. I'm a huge fan of Trader Joe's frozen vegetables. Now, I will say they have a lot that are clean and compliant, and I also will say they have a lot that are not very clean, that have a lot of added ingredients, sugars, processed cheeses, all that stuff. And so what we're gonna be covering today is going to be completely clean. I'm in a very clean eating phase of my life, and so right now this is gonna be all super clean stuff. And so with the frozen vegetables, we only have, I think, 2 today. So number one's gonna be fire roasted bell peppers and onions. So it's just peppers and onions. This is a great simple way to add in a little bit more flavor to how you're cooking without having to chop, without having to, go from fresh. And you can keep this in your freezer for months and months and you'll be good to go. Next, I love these mashed sweet potatoes. These are basically these cubes, and this one's open because I've used it. But they have these little sweet potato cubes. They're frozen. You put them in with some, they say water or milk. I throw some butter in there, and you heat them up and you have some sweet mashed potatoes in seconds. I'm a huge fan of sweet potatoes just because of how nutritious they are, how healthy of a carb they are, and they are very beneficial for you. So those are the veggies I have. Trader Joe's has great broccoli, has great cauliflower, and they also have a great mushroom blend, which I'm a huge fan of, but I don't have in my freezer as we speak. So that is that. With the fruit, Trader Joe's also has a lot of frozen fruit options. What I like to do are these organic wild blueberries, incredible for gut health. They're wild, so they're a little bit more nutritious as well. And of course, they're organic and they're frozen, so they're easy to use. So I've used these in smoothies. I put it in my yogurt. You could do this in oatmeal. You could really do this in pretty much anything where you want fruit, where you want blueberries. And like I said, they're nutritious and they're pretty affordable per bag as well. And then the final frozen thing that we are working with is this organic jasmine rice. Now, I normally get my rice fresh and I'll cook it, but this is for those nights where maybe I forget to prep a meal and I have an extra day or two in there, or maybe I'm running late and I just want to heat something up very quickly. I love these because they're in these packs. You heat them up in the microwave for 3 minutes and they come out perfect. It's the perfect rice. And then you empty the bag, put it on your plate, store it, whatever you gotta do. So I'm a huge fan of having fresh rice and cooking it yourself. But if you are in a pinch, this is a great option to just have in the freezer for that time that you need a quick meal. Okay, refrigerated. Now we have a lot of great refrigerated stuff. Trader Joe's has some really unique stuff that I love. In terms of their meats, this heirloom whole chicken. Now I am a huge fan of these. Trader Joe's just added them in. The reason I'm such a fan is because that they are pasture raised. Now, I'm a huge fan of pasture raised in terms of the ethics of chickens, of raising chickens, making sure they have enough space, they're out in nature, but also because they're probably having more of their natural diet, which is the bugs, which is the nutrients from the soil, whereas most chickens today are getting grains, and these grains are sprayed with pesticides and just a lot of bad stuff that you don't want your chickens to have. And so Trader Joe's has this for $3.49 a pound, so I paid $12 for this little guy. This is probably gonna last me like 3 or so meals, and I'm able to use the bones to make a broth. And so the broth I can cook my rice in, I can use for pasta sauce, I can drink it, but it's just gonna be a cool thing to have. And then the giblets may be missing, but if there's any liver or heart or anything in there, that's always a nice bonus as well. Next refrigerated item that we're gonna go through are the eggs. I love Trader Joe's eggs because of how affordable they are. These are pasture raised, which at any other store you get for $6, $7, or even $8. I believe these are like $3.99 at Trader Joe's. They're pasture raised. They also offer an organic pasture raised, which tells me that these are fed some sort of grains, but they're still pasture raised, so the chickens are getting out there. They're probably happier, which means they're a little bit healthier, which means they're gonna produce a solid egg. And for the price, that's something that you really can't beat. The next refrigerated item is going to be butter. Now, if you guys watch my Costco video, you know I found a great butter at Costco. I also use Kerrygold butter, which Trader Joe's offers, but they just released this in their brand. It's New Zealand and it's salted butter, and it's made with milk from grass-fed cows. So whenever we want butter for the healthy butyrate, for the healthy omega-3s, for basically healthy fats, making sure it's nutritious and not processed, we want to go grass-fed. And so Trader Joe's added their own brand recently, which is really cool. And then my next favorite refrigerated item is this yogurt. Now, I'm a huge fan of this. I believe this is like $3 or $4, so it's super affordable. It's organic and it's 100% grass-fed, which is what we want when we go for yogurt. Now, ideally, it would be raw, so it wouldn't be pasteurized. Pasteurization heats it up and kills a lot of the essential nutrients, including some of the digestive enzymes, which is why so many people struggle with lactose intolerance. However, it's still 100% grass-fed and it's organic, which is a great, great sign. And it's also full fat. We don't want to go low fat. Full fat is proven to be more healthy. It's proven to help with weight loss more, even though of course the calories are different. It interacts with your body in a much better way. So I get like 2 bowls out of this. We've got 2.5 servings, but as far as ingredients, non-homogenized pasteurized milk, which is organic grade A. We've got the cultures, we've got the probiotics, so super clean. I add in hemp hearts, I add in protein powder sometimes to get some extra protein, add some honey or date syrup, which we'll get to in a second, and it's a great bowl of yogurt. Next, we've got our flaxseed meal. Now, this is something I'll have from time to time. I don't have it too often, but I keep it in my refrigerator. This is basically a very healthy form of fat. For ingredients, we're just looking at organic ground flax seeds, but I'll make some protein balls with this, so with some oats and some almond butter and a bunch of other ingredients. But that's really the only time I use it. Could put it in a smoothie, could put it in yogurt, but it's just good to have in my refrigerator. Next, we have coconut aminos. Now we've got 2 of these here. One is just gonna be organic coconut aminos. It's a seasoning sauce. And then the other, which is really cool, is organic coconut aminos, but it's flavored with smoky barbecue. And so coconut aminos to me are a great alternative to soy sauce. They taste very similar, but they're a lot more nutritious. And what you find in a lot of soy sauces is you're having sugars added, and then there's also gluten involved, which is inflammatory to the body. So with this one, it's just organic coconut sap, water, and sea salt. And then the flavored one with the smoky barbecue, we have coconut sap, which is organic garlic, organic ginger, sea salt, and natural smoke flavor. So smoke flavor is probably not organic since it's not listed as it, but it's less than 5% of what's included in here. And so I'm okay with just a little bit of natural flavors just because I'm not using this that often and it adds to the taste. And then the final refrigerated item that we have, and one of my favorites, one of these hidden gems that Trader Joe's has, is Miyoko's organic cashew milk cream cheese. So it's a vegan cream cheese. The one that Trader Joe's offers is lox flavored, so it's kind of like the fish, but it doesn't have any fish in it. It's completely clean ingredients. If we come over to the ingredients, we've got organic cashew milk, organic coconut cream, sea salt, organic seaweed, organic vegetable juice for color, and culture. So totally clean. One of my favorite things to put on our toast, which we will get to in a second, I use toast, top it with this, and put on some everything bagel seasoning, and it's basically my healthy version of an everything bagel. So super tasty, hidden gem, not too expensive. These tubs do go pretty fast, but you're looking at, I think, $4 to $6 for one of these. So, you know, it's a nice treat here and there. And then I think I said the final on this, but things keep popping up in my eyesight. Organic coconut smoothie. Now, I love this. You can tell it's pink. And the reason it's pink is because it is not pasteurized. And so what you find with a lot of coconut beverages is when they pasteurize it, it kills a lot of the nutrients, but it also takes away the natural pink color of the coconut water or coconut juice or coconut milk. And so with this one, with ingredients, we've just got organic coconut water, organic coconut. So it's a great source of fat. It's delicious. Like after a long day, or if you've had a tough workout, or you're looking to rehydrate or just taste something good, this is a beautiful, beautiful add. Okay, let's move on to the good stuff, right? So the first thing, since we just talked about the bread, is my favorite bread of all time. Now, it is not gluten-free, which a lot of people think is an issue. However, it uses completely clean ingredients that are sprouted. So they're sprouted grains and they're organic, which means you're not gonna get the glyphosate pesticide. You're not gonna have the processed wheat where they take out the nutritious part and they just give you the tasty part. You're getting real sprouted ingredients that your body can use better for nutrients and can digest better as well. So this is my favorite bread by far. It took me a couple times to get used to it, but I talked to a few people and they had the same exact experience where it was weird-ish the first few times, but now it's their favorite bread as well. So I'm guessing your taste buds get adapted to it since it's so new. As far as ingredients, we've got everything sprouted and organic, but we're looking at wheat, organic sprouted barley, organic sprouted millet, barley, lentils, soybeans, spelt, fresh yeast, wheat gluten, and sea salt. So again, you do have the gluten, but all the grains in there are sprouted. I haven't had any stomach issues with this, where most other breads will bloat me and give me some other stomach problems. And this is one of those things where it's like, if you're gonna have bread, make it this bread. You're gonna do yourself a huge favor by doing that. Next, we've got pasta. Now, I went to Trader Joe's with the intent to get the red lentil pasta, which I reviewed in the other video. And there's a couple other things here that I mentioned in that previous video, but they were out. So I found another alternative. We've got yellow lentil and brown rice pasta. So it's not just lentils like the other one, but you have organic yellow lentil flour and organic brown rice flour. So I'm a huge fan of upgrading pasta to something like this. A lot of those other generic pastas have a lot of gluten in them, can be inflammatory, are mostly carbs. Whereas with the lentils, you're also getting 14 grams of protein per serving, and there's 6 servings in here. So I'm probably gonna have like 3 servings with this. So I'm looking at 28 grams of protein with that. Again, with that, it is higher carbs, 32 per serving, so 64, but you're still getting more of that protein, which to me is a huge win. Next, we've got the organic popping corn. Trader Joe's also has an olive oil popcorn where it's just popcorn and olive oil, but I love my butter, so I pop this on my own, add some grass-fed butter and some salt, and it's delicious. Meat sticks. We got 2 meat sticks here. There are 2 forms of beef sticks in Trader Joe's. One is not flavored. This one is flavored to be jalapeno. And then this one is a free-range turkey stick. These are free-range turkey, grass-fed beef, which is what we want. For ingredients, you don't have anything that's not clean. So grass-fed and finished beef, so it's 100% grass-fed. Water, sea salt, encapsulated lactic acid, jalapeno peppers, cultured celery powder, black pepper, red pepper, garlic powder, coriander, stuffed in a beef collagen casing. So super clean ingredients. These are like $1.30 per stick. So pretty much every time I go there, I get one and I just snack on it on the drive home. And then with the turkey stick, you're just looking at free-range turkey, water, sea salt, encapsulated lactic acid, cultured celery powder, black pepper, red pepper, garlic powder, coriander, stuffed in a beef collagen casing. So same thing, simple snacks, get a lot of protein. Per serving, you're looking at 9 grams of protein for the beef and 10 grams of protein for the turkey. So this is a great option to add into just some snacks throughout the day. Next, we've got the muesli. Now, I said this entire video was completely clean, but I'm making one exception here because they changed the recipe, guys. I was getting this, and the only sugar and only negative ingredient in here was the fruit concentrate. I think it was like apple or pear fruit concentrate. And so I bought this recently, and I was looking at it, and it looks a little bit different than how it used to. So I flipped it over. We've got whole grain oats, sunflower seeds, raisins. The raisins are coated in sunflower oil. Rice Crisp, which is brown rice, caramelized pear juice concentrate, so that's that natural form of sugar, and sunflower oil. Pumpkin seeds, coconut, dried apple, sliced almonds. So the fruits, the raisins, and the Rice Crisps are covered in sunflower oil, which is inflammatory, which I'm not a fan of. But this is something I bought and didn't realize until after, so I figured I'd include it to update anyone who may have been getting this with the clean ingredients. Next, another form of fantastic sugar, organic date syrup. Date syrup is natural. It's made from 100% deglet nor dates with nothing added. So you could use this as a syrup. I put this in my yogurt. I'll put it on my homemade pancakes sometimes. Be cautious, right? There's 2 tablespoons is 26 grams of sugar. I've used this a couple times. They say you only have 6 servings in here, but I'm probably gonna get like 20 servings out of this because I only drizzle a little bit on it. But it is a lot of sugar, but it's gonna be much better for you from the processed maple syrup with a bunch of added high fructose corn syrup and sugar. It's gonna be better for you than most other sugar sources, right? So I'm looking at date syrup, I'm looking at honey and maple syrup that's real as my 3 sources of healthy sugars. Next, we've got lightly smoked mussels. Now these are a gem that I found at Trader Joe's. You're looking at smoked mussels, extra virgin olive oil, and salt. Each tin gives you 14 grams of protein, and they're really tasty. They're really, really tasty. If you guys saw the Costco video, I do sardines from Costco. These are, to me, a tastier option than sardines. If you want, you can pop open the tin and season it a little bit. I don't even season them. They taste great by themselves, but they're a great snack, great thing to snack on. They're a great thing to add to dinner. Just a cool way to get a little bit more protein and fats in your diet. Next, we've got another one of my favorite products from Trader Joe's. They have this cassava cauliflower blend baking mix. And so when I bake, I don't like to bake with processed wheat flour. I like to find a good source of either clean carbs or a fat like an almond flour. And so I love this guy so much because it's a great option for baking that doesn't require you to use separate baking soda. So they blended it to where it's a really, really cool texture. I'm a huge, huge fan of cassava flour. Cassava flour, to me, the texture that you get when you bake with cassava flour is incredible. And sometimes when it's just cassava flour, it can be a little too it's kind of like rubbery, but it's a good rubbery. I don't want to say rubbery because that sounds like it's bad. And so what they did with this mix is they found something that is less of that texture, but still tastes delicious. So we've got cassava flour, fonio flour, which I had to look up. Fonio is a West African grain, very similar to rice or quinoa. Then we've got cauliflower powder, which is awesome. Vegetable, right? Let's go. Baking powder, so you don't have to add baking powder or baking soda when you do this. And then you've got salt. And you got a bunch of recipes on the back of this bag, which is really cool. You've got some directions of how to best use it. And even though it is higher carb than something like an almond flour, at the same time, it's going to be an awesome swap to something like processed wheat flour. And so this is always here for when I bake. I do homemade pancakes, sometimes waffles, sometimes I'll do a couple other things like cookies. And this is a great mixture to add into whatever you're creating. Next, we've got some seasoning. Trader Joe's has a lot of awesome seasoning. When you go there, just look at the label, make sure there's not any added sugars, make sure there's not any of these processed ingredients. I've just got 2 here as an example today. So this one's a little bit newer from Trader Joe's, Italian style sofrito. Really delicious blend, and it's all clean ingredients. Dried minced onion, tomato flakes, sea salt, dried minced garlic, crushed chili peppers, parsley flakes, crushed red pepper, dried rosemary, and sage leaves. So a lot of awesome ingredients there. And then this umami seasoning is my favorite. I love it. It's umami, which is a mushroom. You look at this, it's kosher salt, dried onions, ground mustard seed, porcini mushroom powder, white button mushroom powder, crushed red pepper, black pepper, dried thyme. I throw this on my burgers and they are delicious with this seasoning. I'm sure you could put it on pretty much anything and it'll taste good. It's a really, really good blend, and I'm a huge fan of the nutritious properties of mushrooms. So check that out. Go to Trader Joe's, browse in the season section. There's a lot of other ones there. Those are just the ones that I chose today. 3 more things. 2 is gonna be, they're both 100% dark chocolate. This is a chocolate bar, and it has cacao nibs in it. So it's chocolate liquor, 93%, and cacao nibs, 7%. 100% cocoa is super, super healthy. I know chocolate gets a bad rap, but there's no sugar in this. It's completely cacao, and there's a lot of antioxidant properties and a lot of benefits from having chocolate. So this is kind of one of my ways to cure a sweet tooth after dinner, even though it's more bitter than sweet. My body loves it. So that's one opportunity. And then the other are these cacao chips, which I reviewed in the other video. Just cacao, but they're in a chip form. So you can put them in your baking recipes. I put them in my pancakes. Sometimes I'll just pop a handful, pop them in my mouth and snack on them. A lot of cool opportunities for these. And then finally, we've got these Fruz balls. Fruz balls has 2 flavors as of now, chocolate hazelnut, and then there's a peanut butter and jelly. They are super high in calories, high in sugar, so they shouldn't be just bought and kind of snacked on. They're more for like if you're gonna go hiking, or if you have some big workout to do, or if it's just every once in a while you wanna treat yourself. For these, you're looking at dates, peanuts, hazelnuts, coconut, raw cacao, pink salt, and natural flavor. Peanut butter and jelly doesn't have the natural flavor in it. The hazelnut one does, but I'm okay with that if I'm only having this once in a while. So try these out because these are delicious. But that's my haul, guys. Let me know in the comments if I missed anything, if there's a product that you love from Trader Joe's, because I know if I went in there and I bought everything that was clean, I'd have like 3 or 4 times the haul that I got today. But this is just what I usually consume. This is stuff I like to keep in my apartment, and it's stuff that tastes good and is also healthy. So let me know in the comments. Again, if you are looking to simplify the process of getting healthy, check the link in the description of this video for a free training we put together on the process we use to help our guys lose fat. And then number 2, make sure you subscribe to the channel, tap that like button, and tap that bell icon to be notified when we release new videos. But with that being said, let me know if there's another store you want me to go to. Let me know if there's other content you're looking for. And I appreciate you a ton. And as always, make sure to eat smart, move more, sleep deep, and be grateful for this moment. I'll see you in the next video.